By 1945, the sky over Europe belonged to one sound: thunder. The German Luftwaffe was gone, burned from the air by a fighter they had once mocked as a flying milk bottle. But the war wasn't over. Across the Pacific, new enemies waited, and the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt would prove that its power knew no limits, not even the ocean. As Europe burned toward victory, another war raged half a world away. Across the vast Pacific, Allied bombers were pushing deeper toward Japan, but they needed escorts strong enough, fast enough, and with range enough to go the distance. Many doubted the hulking Thunderbolt could survive there. Too big, too heavy, too short-legged. The pilots of the 348 Fighter Group would prove everyone wrong. Under Colonel Neel Kearby, a Texas-born ace with a quiet confidence and a fierce competitive streak, the P-47 found a new kind of battlefield, one of jungles, mountains, and endless sea. October 11, 1943. The humid skies over New Guinea shimmered with heat and danger. Kearby led 4 Thunderbolts against 40 Japanese aircraft. He climbed above them, rolled inverted, and dove, exactly as Hub Zemke had taught in Europe. 8 guns erupted in a single blinding flash. 3 Japanese fighters disintegrated in seconds. Kearby destroyed 6 that day, earning the Medal of Honor, the first ever awarded to a P-47 pilot. The Japanese, using nimble but fragile opponents, were stunned. Ace Saburo Sakai, who faced the P-47 over WWII, later admitted, "We called them monsters. Our 20mm cannon could tear a P-40 apart, but against a Thunderbolt it was useless. You would hit it again and again, and it kept coming." The Japanese learned the same lesson the Germans had. The jug didn't duel, it endured. The Pacific demanded range, and engineers responded. The P-47N, a stretch-wing variant with massive internal fuel tanks, could fly more than 2,300 miles, enough to escort B-29 bombers all the way to Japan. Each wing now held 93 gallons of fuel. Each drop tank added hundreds more. Even with this added load, the big double-wasp engine hauled the jug through tropical skies with effortless power. In the islands of Saipan, Iwo Jima, and the Philippines, P-47s became both shield and sword, clearing the skies and hammering the ground. Thunderbolts strafed airfields, shipping convoys, and coastal defenses. One after another, Japanese bases vanished beneath the hail of 8 heavy guns and 5-inch rockets. The pattern was always the same: silence, then the distant rumble, then destruction. By 1944, the P-47 had evolved into something more than a fighter. With bombs under its wings and rockets on its pylons, it became the most formidable fighter-bomber in history. Its pilots called the attacks Jabo runs. The ground shook as waves of jugs screamed in at treetop height, unleashing rockets and gunfire so dense it looked like solid beams of light. One Japanese soldier described it in a diary recovered after the war. "They came like thunder. We heard the roar before we saw them. Then the air turned white and hot. When it cleared, nothing moved. The Thunderbolt had become what it was always meant to be, an indestructible machine of retribution." Late 1944, Europe. The Luftwaffe plays its final card, the world's first operational jet fighter, the Messerschmitt Me 262. On paper, the jets are untouchable, 540 miles per hour, nearly 100 faster than the fastest piston aircraft. But jets are fragile. They need long runways, gentle takeoffs, and careful landings. Thunderbolt pilots soon learned to strike at those moments. On November 27, 1944, Lieutenant Colonel John C. Meyer of the 352nd Fighter Group dives from 28,000 feet on a Me 262, taking off near Acmer. His jug hits over 500 miles per hour, close to the edge of compressibility, and opens fire. The jet explodes before clearing the runway. "The concentrated fire of 8.50 S," Meyer reported, was more effective than we ever imagined. By early 1945, specialized P-47M variants, tuned for speed and altitude, were intercepting jets and B-1 flying bombs with remarkable success. Even in the dawn of the jet age, the Jug refused to become obsolete. Behind every sortie was an empire of industry. Republic Aviation's factory at Farmingdale, New York, ran day and night, one Thunderbolt every hour. In Evansville, Indiana, a second plant turned out 500 aircraft per month. Each required 65,000 parts, 2,000 pounds of aluminum, and over 8 miles of wiring. The Pratt & Whitney R-2800 engine alone contained 2,400 precision machine components, and America built over 15,600 of them. Ammunition plants poured out 30 million rounds of .50 caliber ammunition each month. The Lake City Arsenal in Missouri employed thousands, many of them women, working round the clock, feeding the guns the Jug. Fuel, spare parts, tires, propellers, all flowed from an industrial machine so vast that German planners simply called it a material storm. The storm of material. That storm was now unstoppable. January 1st, 1945. Germany launches Operation Bodenplatte, a desperate surprise attack on Allied airfields. At the base near Metz, the 365th Fighter Group is caught off guard. 22 Thunderbolts are destroyed on the ground. When a captured German pilot sneers at the smoking wreckage, Major George Brooking points toward the maintenance crews already clearing the runway. By tomorrow, we'll have 40 new ones. How long will it take you to replace your pilots? Within 2 days, fresh Jugs fill the field. The Luftwaffe never recovers. That moment, quiet, confident, unshakable, sums up the entire war in the air. One side fights with courage. The other fights with courage and an inexhaustible arsenal. By spring 1945, the Luftwaffe exists only on paper. Fuel is gone, pilots barely trained. Those who do fly face formations of P-47's that own every altitude from treetop to stratosphere. Feldwebel Klaus Bretschneider, one of Germany's last fighter trainees, recalls his first and only mission. I saw them diving from above, for Thunderbolts in perfect formation. I tried to turn, but they were too fast. My plane exploded before I knew what hit me. That single encounter lasted 12 seconds. The Luftwaffe was finished. For the first time in 6 years of war, the skies over Germany were quiet, except for the distant, rolling thunder of American engines. The numbers tell the story of a storm that could not be resisted. Over 3,700 German aircraft destroyed in air combat, another 3,300 destroyed on the ground. 86,000 railway cars, 9,000 locomotives, and 6,000 armored vehicles obliterated. More than 200,000 combat sorties flown by P-47's in Europe alone. The Thunderbolt achieved a 4.6 to 1 kill ratio, the best loss rate of any Allied fighter bomber. But behind those statistics lay the human cost. The thousands of young Luftwaffe pilots lost, many on their first flight, and the American airmen who never came home. Even the victors understood the weight of that thunder. After the war, captured German records revealed a fascinating evolution in their assessments of the Thunderbolt. April 1943, large, unmaneuverable fighter, minimal threat. December 1943, significant threat at altitude. June 1944, dominant fighter bomber, extremely difficult to shoot down. March 1945, best fighter bomber of the war, direct engagement unsustainable. The laughter had died entirely. At a 1985 reunion in Phoenix, former Luftwaffe Commander Adolf Galland reflected, "We made a mistake in 1943. We thought the Americans built a bomber and called it a fighter. We didn't realize they had built an American fighter, one designed around production, power, and survival. When I flew a captured P-47 after the war, I finally understood it was a pilot's airplane, wrapped in armor, powered like a locomotive. And they built 15,000 of them. We never had a chance. Today, a restored P-47D stands proudly at the U.S. Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. Its wings gleam under the lights. Its 8-gun port silent. Next to it, a small glass case holds a strip of gun camera film showing a Focke-Wulf 190 disintegrating under fire. Below the display, a single quote from a 1945 German interrogation reads, "We laughed when we first saw them. Fat, ugly American fighters that couldn't turn or climb. We stopped laughing when we realized they didn't need to. They just pointed those guns and you ceased to exist." From the skies over France to the islands of Japan, from the laughter of 1943 to the silence of 1945, the P-47 Thunderbolt rewrote the rules of air warfare. It was not the fastest, nor the most elegant, but it was the strongest, the most forgiving, the most fearsome machine of its kind. It turned ridicule into respect, respect into fear, and fear into legend. When the thunder rolled, the world knew what it meant. The jug had spoken, and the skies would never be the same again. If you followed the series from the first laugh over France to the final roar over Japan, thank you. Subscribe, share, and keep history alive, because stories like this remind us that courage, innovation, and sheer determination can turn even a flying milk bottle into a legend.